Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Creatives Podcast. You might have noticed just a couple different things. First of all, I am unfortunately missing my partner in crime, Mr. Tevin Brown. He had something come up last minute, but yes, Anne, that's right. That's what we do. And so today it's just me and our wonderful guest who is Zooming in. Thank you, technology, for making this possible. Today we have on award-winning screenwriter and founder of Dollkeeper Productions. Thank you so much for being with us, Diane Sismour.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bearing with us with some of our technical difficulties. But yeah, we're happy to have you. So we always like to start out just to get an idea of where our guests began their creative journeys. So if you'd like to share more about what initially drew you to writing, eventually to screenwriting, especially within the horror and psychological thriller realm.
I do like to write grounded stories, which is why you lock your doors at night.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of draws me, because who doesn't like to be a little bit afraid, be able to overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to figure out what their situation is. I do put my characters through a lot. When I started writing, it was 50 years ago, so a long time ago. But my stories have evolved from rom-coms to mysteries to suspense to psychological thrillers. I had come across, what had got me into screenwriting was I had come across some girls who were on Amber Alerts, and they were similar age and size, and a story evolved. And it wouldn't leave me alone. So I wrote it out. It made the short list in a massive submission call, so I was happy about that. But I wanted to let other people see it, because I thought it was important, because you don't hear about missing children anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about everything else, but not missing children. So it was important to me, especially after speaking with FBI and human trafficking agents, that the situation is becoming far worse than I ever imagined.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, in 2024, there were over 460,000 missing children reported to the FBI.
Wow.
And that number in the last 5 years has gone up 40%. So this is what made me write screenplay. This is why I specifically wanted to get this one into production. So that's the why behind it. That's why it's important to me. I couldn't imagine if somebody took one of my kids. So.
No, incomprehensible, every parent's worst nightmare, absolutely. And it's so important that, oftentimes art gives a voice to the voiceless, and whether that's yourself, your own voice, your inner child's voice, or children who can't speak for them, that's huge.
Yeah.
How have you had any opportunities to speak with anyone who has read your work or, experienced it in some way, who has expressed feeling impacted by it, or any kind of inspiration?
Yes. The Dollkeeper screenplay has won 8 different festivals. I'm very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
The all around internationally and in the States. So we're waiting to hear about Liverpool's on the 28th is when that one will be announced, so crossing my fingers there.
Mm-hmm.
We do have our first funding, so people are excited. When I put the post out about looking for a director, don't do that on LinkedIn, you'll get swamped.
I bet.
Yeah. I did have quite a few different directors read it, get their views of what they thought of it. And Jason Noto is our director for the project. He has done other works in this vein, and also documentaries. In fact, he's doing a rock and roll documentary I just saw on one of the trades. So I'm very excited for him. Jose Casella, or Jose Zambrano Casella, is our cinematographer, and he's magnificent. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how he captures everything. We have our line producer, and Omar Foster is our production designer. He has a magnificent eye. I can't wait to see his lookbook for this. But that's where we're at. It's very exciting.
That is so exciting. And it must be such a special and gratifying but surreal experience watching your writing come to life and, seeing a team of people kind of like rally behind this and make their own connections with your work. What's that experience like?
Oh, it's extraordinary. The first time in it, so at the Atlanta Women's Film Festival, we were selected for a 10-page read. And a lot of people started with the first 10 pages of the screenplay, which is a lot of direction. But I wanted to start at Act 2, where things really get messy. And there were over 100 people in the audience. It was extraordinary. You could hear a pin drop. You could hear them inhale at the right moments of the gasps. And it was just extraordinary. My goosebumps, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. So, yeah, that's when I knew that we had something special.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And something so meaningful, absolutely. And that's such a good point, thinking more about, how far-reaching this has become too. And so it makes me think a little bit more about your origin story, where you began, and how it feels, to be experiencing the success, to have met so many important people, so many different people. How has that journey been to where you are now?
Well, I've always had good success with my writing. It takes a long time to get your voice normally, but I had my voice when I was a teenager. My writing voice was apparent. And just learning craft and helping other people with their craft, it only improves my own work. So through that, it helps me focus more on what my intentions are, or my work, like The Doll Keeper especially. This is the first of a 3-film franchise opportunity, and we are speaking with doll collectible companies for marketing and merchandising, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's really extraordinary the way things just keep building, and I can't be happier really with how it's working out. But it is a constant push. It's not sitting there and waiting for it to happen. It is every day I'm speaking with people, and every day I'm working on one of the screenplays on our slate and trying to keep things moving forward, because I don't only have these 3 films, I have several others on our slate. A miniseries, an espionage miniseries, and a late in life comedy television series. So there's always a juggling act, spinning plates kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're living your passion, and that's huge, and you're making a meaningful impact in the process, which is all any artist could hope for, right? Absolutely. And I'm curious too. You mentioned your intention, and it made me think about how much intention it takes to really build a sense of suspense, and effectively, especially in writing, building the tension and the anticipation in a way, that can be like felt throughout your entire body as the reader. So I'm so curious to hear a little bit more about how you strike that balance.
that's one of those innate things that happens for me.
Which is huge.
However,
That's great.
I, I, um, it's just the style of my writing. So this is dread over gore. So there's a lot of, like, let's see, when was it? In the 80s and the 90s. There were a lot of films that had like a slow build, like a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
And the dread kind of builds up. This isn't a slasher movie by any chance. And so by the time something peaks, like the audience gets to take a breath. How do you do that? You have to let them breathe a little.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I keep that in mind, so by moving scenes around and things like that. But yeah, the dread part and the suspense part, that's kind of an innate thing for me in my writing.
Mm-hmm. And that's a gift. So I'm glad you're absolutely applying it in all the right ways. And it's something I'm sure that our viewers would be curious, but me personally, I was curious because it took me a little while to warm up to horror. And, having just watched a movie that I think built, tension and anticipation so well, it really is an art. So, you have a gift.
Thank you.
Of course. So, what does the future of the Dollkeeper Productions look like for you? You said that you already have different productions in the works, and also I like that you said it was an adult comedy, and then you also have this espionage thriller. So I like kind of the duality there. Where are you headed?
Let me see. I'm always looking for something new. I had read a script the other day that I fell in love with. It was I consider it a poetic drama. We thought it was a horror, but thanks. But I absolutely loved it, and so I will probably reach out to that screenwriter and see if we can work together on that. I'm always looking for something new. Trying to, because everything will be at a different stage in the development. But for the Dollkeeper itself, currently I'm working on this part 2, the second film, and I have part 3 sketched out, and so I know where everything is going at the end. Like I said, it's very franchisable, and it could possibly extend past 3, but that's where I'm looking at as an ending.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's an exciting venture.
It is, absolutely. It's very exciting. And I am curious with thinking about, looking for something new, kind of having that spirit of curiosity and openness is so important, especially as a writer. Are there any places that you haven't gone to yet that you're looking for an opportunity to go to, or that you're trying to cultivate an opportunity to explore? Places like emotionally and thematically.
I kind of write all over the place. As far as I write a lot of short fiction, short stories, which are great to turn into screenplays. They're almost like having a treatment in a way. Mm-hmm. And I do have one that I would love to make. It's about an artist who loses her fiance the day he proposes. And she had just finished his portrait. And when she moved it, it became damaged beyond repair. So instead of going through the stages of grief, she was trying to rebuild this portrait of him, and realizing in the end that it still was never him. And then opening up the curtains to her studio, once again joining life. So
that's beautiful. We'd love to see that come to life. I like that. Yeah, you seem fearless in your writing. You have a natural talent, but also you have an honesty about you that seems like it definitely translates to the characters and their experience as well. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I kind of have that no nonsense in my writing, and I do put my characters through hell. But No, she never make it easy. Who
No.
wants to see easy?
Any
I
good
mean,
writer.
even yeah, nobody. So yeah, I do enjoy trying to see what complications I can give them. They aren't always tragic. Sometimes they're fun. Like I said, I started in rom-com, and sometimes all that comes through too. So some of my characters are snarky. Big
Always.
surprise.
Yeah.
Yes,
They're more interesting that way.
yes, but it's fun. Um, I, yeah, I think if I'm honest with my writing, if I'm honest with my characters, then it will show through, and the audience will be able to engage with them because they feel like real people. They'll feel like when I'm creating a character, I'm drawing from the thousands of people I've met over my life. I I was an equestrian rider, world and national competition. I've met so many people across the country, and so some of those, even from way back then, I pop up into my characters because of a couple of sentences that I remember them saying. I don't know, things like that. So that's why they feel real, I think, because I'm drawing from real life.
That's huge. Yeah, and it adds so much color and vibrancy to your writing too. I heard, I was speaking with someone I care very much about today, and they said if it's not real, then what's the point? And I think that sums it up, right? You know, if you're not speaking from an honest place and creating an honest experience, then yeah, what is the point? What's the purpose?
Yeah,
That's huge.
truly. Like I said, the audience has to be affected emotionally, and when I'm watching a film, I like to get all the feels. If I don't feel the feels, then I'm like, why am I sitting here?
Right? Like, why am I here? I could be sitting on my couch taking a nap instead. Yeah.
I could be writing, but
Probably.
naps. Um, but yeah, so that is, I think, why my characters are developed as much as they are, because I want, if they're feeling hard about something, I'll be crying while I'm writing it. And then I'll be also laughing if they're going through something. So
Experiencing life
although
with your
it's hard,
characters. Absolutely.
it's hard to type through tears, I'm just saying.
I do you think that feeling that kind of connection and that authenticity in those moments with those characters is important for authors and for writers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Because if you're not feeling it, neither will the reader or the viewer. I mean, the actors won't be able to emote that.
Yep.
You have to show what's happening as opposed to just saying it. So
Absolutely. I love it. Well, that's a great segue as we kind of start to round things out. If you had to give either like a couple bullet points, a sentence, a small paragraph, what advice would you give to growing writers, creatives who are looking for inspiration or just starting their journeys?
don't give up. What you create is a part of you. It's a part of your soul, your experience, your character. It's everything that you've experienced in life to that moment. So if you bring that to the page, you will have something to write about. And people will watch and listen. And don't stop writing. Finish it to the end.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Diane, so much. Time just absolutely flew by, but we're so glad that we could have you on today for spending time with us and sharing your creativity and your expertise.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
Good. I'm so glad. And thank you so much to all of our wonderful viewers who stayed on today. And thank you especially to all of our sponsors. We absolutely could not do it without you. So thank you Studio 519 and Channel 27, Catharsis Media, Channel 96, RM Entertainment. Of course, it's free on all of your Roku TV and your mobile devices. And most of all, thank you so much to everyone out there who continues to support us, either on YouTube or wherever you view/listen to your podcasts. And once again, I didn't say it in the beginning, I am your co-host, Simone Campbell. Just realized that. And have a fantastic day. Thank you.